could be buying a house tomorrow, and the lead in my right hand, that referral lead that we all want, may never buy a house. You see what I'm saying? Yet we all want this lead, and we need to talk about why that is, okay? There are 4 parts to converting, to making a sale. By the way, when I say convert a lead, what am I talking about? What does that mean to you? What is converting? When I say to you I converted a lead, what just happened?
Nothing, I don't know you
To I know you. Okay. All right. What else? If I say converting a lead, what does everybody else think?
From a lead to close.
From lead, so converting a lead means to close a house. Convert a lead means to go from haven't met to met. Convert a lead means just getting a contract out of them, right? Everybody's kind of right. You need all of those things to happen, right? Step 1, you have to capture a lead. Okay? Then we have step 2, which is a step we all hate, so I'm going to skip it for a minute. Okay? Then we have step 3, we're going to put them under contract. And then we have step 4, we're going to have a closing. Now that contract might be a listing agreement, it might be a buyer agreement, whatever it is, they're a client now, you understand? It's step 2 to me is the closing, and I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
Alex.
Alex, it's what Alex said. It's going from haven't met to met. We like to skip that step. We're going from haven't met to met. So generally, think about it. When a person comes to you, that last class that I taught, we were trying to get people away from paying for leads. We were trying to say, like, don't pay for leads, you know, work your sphere of influence, okay? Get the leads that come naturally, you know, because they're easy to convert. And basically, when you go buy leads, the way the conversation goes with Zillow or whoever you're buying the leads from is this. You capture the leads, then you put them on the contract, and then you have a closing.
I'm so freaking stupid. I'm looking over here and it's on the board. Like, what the hell did you write? Can you turn that around? Oh, no. It's
You think that was just for me?
Yeah, no, yeah, I thought it was. I was like, oh, he's taking notes on his own lesson.
I love
I'm
it.
here.
Yeah, he is here, you're right.
Let's do this.
So we'll be leaving at 6 tonight instead of 4. So basically, when you're talking to Zillow or whoever, they skip step 2, don't they? They just tell you, we'll give you the leads, and then you put them on the contract, and then you close them. The reason that realtors hate to think about this step is because this is the actual hard part of converting a lead. Okay, the lead cannot be converted to a closing until they go from haven't met to met. Does that make sense to everyone? So to me, the definition of lead conversion is step 2. It's going from a haven't met to a met. Does that make sense? In other words, I need to be able to ask them, hey, do you want to work with me or not? If I don't ask it, that's on me. That's my own fault. You see what I'm saying? Okay? So that's what converting a lead is. So once again, I have the haven't met lead in my left hand, I have the met lead in my right hand. You can only have one. We all want the referral lead. The question why, the answer is it's easier to accomplish step 2, which is the hardest step. Because we have that connection. We already have that connection. And with that connection, I can now get into conversation with this person substantially easier. In fact, most of the statistics that we have tell us that a haven't met lead is going to require 8 to 10 phone calls at a minimum to convert, if you can convert them at all. Again, converting meaning having what I call like the real estate conversation. So in other words, I said, Alex, tell me, why are you looking to buy? When are you looking to buy? Are you qualified to buy? Have you been looking at any houses? Are you working with anyone? Why not? Let me tell you what a buyer agent does. Can I be your buyer agent? The real estate conversation. Everybody with me on that? So when I finish the real estate conversation, that lead has been converted. Whether Alex tells me maybe, yes, or no, I converted the lead. Everybody with me on that? Okay. All right. So basically, it takes 8 to 10 calls to have the real estate conversation with my haven't met lead. Guess how many calls it takes to have it with my referral lead? 1 to 2.
Yeah.
1 to 2. Why? Because Will, right?
Oh, I was just stretching my hand.
Yeah, no, it's, I'm doing this to myself. See, I'm friends with Will. Will tells me to call Alex, right? So Will says, hey, Alex, Greg's going to be calling you. Or Will might say, Alex, call Greg. He's a really good realtor. That requires 0 calls on my part. You see, here's what's going to happen. The more you focus on referral leads, the more your business becomes incoming instead of outgoing. In other words, it's going to become more and more common that while you're driving on the street, your phone is going to ring and it's going to be somebody saying, hey, Will told me to give you a call. I want to buy a house or I want to sell a house. You see what I'm saying? And because we all want these leads right here, that's exactly what we're doing. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
So that's what we're trying to build, and that was kind of like the gist of that class. Now, what I also told you was, in order to get referral leads, it was a concept called top of mind. Does anybody remember what top of mind is?
Yes.
What is it? Who can define top of mind?
It's like whenever you think of a certain topic, that's the person you think of.
Exactly. So when they think of real estate, you need to just pop into their head. You have to pop into their head. What'd you say?
I said when I think of something, I think of this person.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's so not what he just said. Now I really want to know. But anyway.
You can find me later.
Okay, cool.
Let's go back to class.
Okay, so the idea is we want to get as many referral leads as we can because the conversion piece is easier. In order to get referral leads, we need top of mind from the people that we know. That's what it really comes down to. So the purpose of today, without going into a whole review of the last class, is to understand that what we need to do is make sure that we're getting referral leads. How do we get referral leads? By getting top of mind. Okay, so it's our job. I maintain that a realtor's #1 job is to make sure that they have a database of every single person that they know. Notice I did not say of every one of your friends. I said everyone you know. You're going to put them into a sphere of influence, and what this sphere of influence is going to do is it's going to become the basis of your top of mind. Now, how do I define sphere of influence? I can sit here and define it by telling you, it's your family, friends, neighbors, past clients, acquaintances, people I went to high school with, people I went to college with, blah, 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 blah. But I'm going to make it a whole lot simpler. You're walking down the street, you run into a person, if you stop and say hi to each other, you know each other's name, they belong in your sphere of influence. Does that sound good? It's not just your friends and family. How long have you all lived around here? This is not a hard question. It's not the hardest one I'm going to ask you today. I'm a little nervous.
7 or 8 years.
7 or 8 years.
3 or 4.
3 or 4, 6. 6. 8. Very good. You're the veteran so far.
7 years.
7. You don't have it. This is what happens when you're texting,
I lived about 20.
20? Oh, you right out of the water.
That's why she said.
I was like, oh.
I was ready to declare you the winner. How about you?
3.
That was, are you sure? She asked me, she didn't tell me, she just asked me. Yeah, I'm gonna say yes. Because I'm gonna go on a limb here and assume that you know these things. My point is you've all lived here long enough to know some people. When you walk down the street, you're gonna see them. Your sphere of influence varies in size based on how long have you lived in the area, how long have you been in real estate, and honestly, how successful you've been in real estate, because a big chunk of your sphere of influence is your past clients. It's your past clients, okay? There's a terrible statistic in real estate, terrible statistic. Again, every year, National Association of Realtors puts out a buyer and seller survey, okay? And you can get a copy of it at realtor.org. All realtors get a download copy of it. And one of the statistics that sticks out every year, and the numbers vary a little bit, so I'm just going to kind of do a roundabout of what the numbers are, but basically what they do is they interview people who used the realtor over the previous year, and they ask them a bunch of questions. And one of the questions they ask is this. When they're done, they say, were you satisfied with your realtor? And usually it's like, resoundingly yes, 80 to 95%, depending on the year. Yes, they're satisfied with the realtor. So it's usually somewhere between 85 and 90. And then you go further into the study, and it looks at the people who used the realtor just this last year, and that have used realtors before, and they said, did you use the same realtor that you used last time? and only 11% of them say yes. So the study says at least 80% of them were satisfied with their realtor, but when they used the realtor again several years later, they used a different one. Who knows why?
They didn't keep
Not
top
the
of
top
mind.
line.
Not top of mind. They didn't keep in touch. They didn't keep in touch.
And
Okay?
that question was easier than how long have you lived here?
It was. How did you? You're right. How? There was no hesitation on that one. But when I asked for years here, it was.
I had to do the math.
And that's not what a realtor is.
That's why we're not loan officers. That's right. Okay. Good answer. All right. So you understand that we don't follow up well enough. We don't follow up, and it's generally because number one, people don't tell us to, and number two, we don't realize how important it is. We don't realize the importance of it, right? So I'm going to do a little chart, and then I'm going to jump right into it, okay? And I don't think I did this chart last time. If I did, I apologize, but again, even if I did, it's something I would do anyway because I want you to see it. So as far as I can see, I've been doing real estate. By the way, for those of you who don't know my background in real estate, I was a top producing realtor. I used to sell over 100 houses a year, every year, okay? So I sold a lot of houses. I brokered 3 huge real estate offices. I was a national speaker and trainer, and now I work on the mortgage side. So I've seen this industry from pretty much every angle you can. And I have learned that there are really only 3 models of business in real estate. There's only 3. Now you can mix them and match them and make little minor changes to them, but ultimately there's only 3. The first is what I call the database model, which is what really we're going to be talking about today. The database model is what I call the 1 in 10 model. And here's what that means. 1 in 10 means this. 1 in 10 means this. If I go out and get top of mind, in other words, if I systematically communicate with you enough times that I get top of mind from you, okay? If I have 10 people that I get top of mind from every year, that's going to count for 1 sale or 1 referral. And I know people say, oh, that's bull, that's crazy if it was only that easy. It's not that easy. Getting top of mind is actually hard. Getting top of mind is your job as far as I'm concerned. Well, it's not easy. It's not hard, but it's not easy. It requires time and consistency. You know, patience and consistency. It's like farming, patience and consistency. So, but basically, the bottom line is this. Once I get top of mind from 10 people every year, 1 of those 10 is going to account for 1 piece of business. Okay? And you may not believe that, but let me ask you this. First of all, how long does the average person live in their home? You know? 5 to 7 years. Very good. I was waiting for this side of the table. They were doing math.
Threw out a random number.
Somebody got them. You just gonna guess like Will. Anyway, 5 to 7 years. So if you know 10 people that own a house, the odds are 2 of them need a realtor this year. You see what I'm saying? 2 of them need a realtor this year. How about the ones that don't own a house? Do they know somebody who's thinking of buying or selling a house? Can you get a referral from that? Another great, this is a better statistic I like for real estate. And again, the buyer-seller guide, they asked people who listed their house last year, how many realtors did you interview? 70% of them interviewed 1, exactly. 85% interviewed no more than 2. So do you see the importance of top of mind?
Are you throwing out random numbers also, or?
No, I know.
Oh, okay.
Those are big numbers, that's it. This is one of the more famous, that's one of the more famous statistics.
Yeah.
So the bottom line is, top of mind is important because that 70% that only called 1, who do you think they called? The realtor that they thought of first, or the one that they thought of 5th? Of course, that's who gets the listings, okay? So top of mind is important, and even if you don't believe that 1 out of 10 are going to give you business, do you at least believe that if you spend your time making sure that every single person you know knows that you sell real estate, do you think that you're going to do more? Oh, by the way, knows that you sell real estate and that you work by referral, that's important. They know you sell real estate and they know you work by referral. Do you think that you're going to do more or less business next year? More. So you put whatever number you want there, but I'm going to stick with 10. Fair enough? Okay. So let's just say I have this database that I got top of mind from 200 people. Okay. I'm going to do business with 1 out of every 10 of them. That means I'm going to do 20 deals. Okay, Will, we're doing it up there, remember? He keeps looking over here, you know?
We got ring over there.
It might be different, right? So I'm gonna get 20 deals. Everybody see that? If I have 200 people, I'm gonna do business with one out of 10, that's 20 deals. What's the average commission before you split with your office or anything like that? 10 grand, does that sound fair to everybody? About 10,000? Nobody's objecting, so we're going 10,000. So basically, if I make 20 sales at $10,000 a piece, I'm gonna make a GCI, gross commission income, of $200,000. In other words, that's how much commissions we generated before there's any splits. Now, I don't have any idea, how does this often, do you guys do splits, transaction fees, how do you guys work in here? Is there a cap?
Splits.
Split, is there like an average split that we can use that's not gonna, you know, just something in the middle? I don't know if everybody's on the same split or what, but is there kind of something in the middle we can use as an example for this, like 60-40?
60-40.
60-40, okay. So if I say 60-40, so I'm gonna pay out 40% of this to the brokerage, right, which would be what, $80,000, thank you. That leaves me with $120,000. Now, it's not free to get top of mind, okay? Generally, getting top of mind will cost you $1 per person per month. So for example, if I have 200 people in my sphere, it's gonna cost me $200 a month for top of mind, or $2,400. Everybody with me on that? Now, I like easy math, and I like to round up instead of down so nobody thinks I'm playing tricks on them. Okay, so let's just say it costs $3,000 to get top of mind. Okay? That leaves me with $117,000. How's that look?
Not bad at all.
Not bad? Is that a decent year's pay?
Yeah.
How come I only have one person responding to this?
They all make more than me.
They all make more than you do. That's what tends to happen. Now, a couple of things you need to understand about this $117,000. First of all, it's only going to be about 80% of what you make, because there's still money coming in from those habit events in the left hand. You're not forgetting